Stephanie Tippett, and I just turned 30 this year. I'm from Bohemia, North Carolina. Just early May of this year, 2012, I was diagnosed. The symptoms that I had initially when I first had an attack were I started having dizzy spells, and in the midst of those dizzy spells my speech was slurring out really badly. I started having neuropathy on the left side of my body, in my arm and my leg primarily. By the time I made it into the hospital, I also had some pretty bad muscle cramps and spasms going on, and I found out I was having an attack. I was scared to death when I found out that I had MS. Like I think anybody would be, you hear that you've got a progressive, lifelong, non-curable disease, and it's kind of scary. I would say that my life has changed for the better since my diagnosis. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but for me, you're told that if you take really good care of yourself, if you exercise, if you eat healthy, if you free yourself from the stress that you have and this, that, and whatnot, you're going to be a lot better off. And consequently, it's kind of a card that's handed to you that says that if you live a really good life, things will be better. Consequently, you can't help but live a better life. National MS Society has helped me a lot in dealing with my diagnosis, because you need information when you first get diagnosed. You want to know what is going on with your body, you want to know what you can do to be proactive about what's going on with your body, you want to know what's going on in science to cure this, because you didn't know anything about MS before you suddenly had it, and now you need to know everything about MS, and the MS Society has everything that you need posted without all of the hypothetical like medicine man cures that are out there, which I really appreciate. I like knowing facts as opposed to people's sort of hubbub. There's a lot on the internet about how scary and horrible people's lives become when they get MS, and I think the MS Society focuses a lot on being proactive and living a normal, healthy life as much as you possibly can. So that's definitely helped my personality type handle what's been handed to me. I have attended 2 society events, sort of. One was specifically from the National MS Society. It was an overview of the drugs that are currently being used on the market, and physical therapy initiative and this, that, and whatnot. That was, I want to say, about 3 weeks after I got out of the hospital and was first diagnosed. And it was invaluable to me because I went there and there were a bunch of other people who had MS, and I was still shaky from my IV Medrol and this, that, and whatnot. I was not in great shape, kind of feeling really wimpy about life, and just got told I was suffering from this horrible disease. And then I go here and there's a room full of other people who have this disease that are functional, that are talking, that are doing things, that are okay looking, and it's really hard to pick out who has MS and who doesn't, which made me feel much better. There's not blinking lights sitting above them going, hey, I've got MS. So that's nice. Give it some time and don't freak out, because it's not that bad. I mean, it is and it isn't. Factually, it's kind of a crappy disease diagnosis, but at the same point, it's not a brain tumor, it's not a stroke, it's not all the things that I was thinking I may have had when I first went into the hospital. So being told that you have something where you really need to take good care of yourself and you'll probably be relatively okay, it's not that bad. Talking to my doctor, listening to the medication overviews this year, it's really sounds like it's on the cusp of we're getting some good medicines now and it's not going to be that bad. So. Not being able to work has changed my life a little bit. I had the world's greatest job ever. I love my job, and very few people can say that. So stepping away from something that I absolutely love was really hard. At the same point, being honest with yourself is really important. I'm a firm believer in optimism. I'm not going to sit around and cry about everything that's wrong because that's bad for your MS. So instead, I choose to look at the brighter side of things. Obviously, I was meant to spend more time with my children, which I have done and I have thoroughly enjoyed. I'm enjoying my life more. I'm taking time to look at everything around. Very few people are handed the opportunity or the diagnosis or whatever to say, I need to take my time and I need to look at my life and I need to enjoy the trees and the flowers and the sunshine and this, that, and that. So it's really nice that you have to slow down. You don't have an option to keep up with the super duper fast-paced, stressful, horrible world around you. And you have that sort of card that you can put out and say, you know, no stress for me today. So it's nice. Every once in a while it's a little sad, but it's mostly about adapting and overcoming in your life.